So right now I'm just trying to wrap up the Civic. So hopefully on this episode we should be able to finish the rear brakes to at least have that working so we could test drive the vehicle. I will be upgrading the fan to the 1600 CFM fans. I'm changing the hood risers, and I'm also wiring up the spall relay harness. So I'm going to throw those in. Hopefully that takes care of everything. Now, the reason why I don't want to cut the mesh, because this hood is damaged. It has to get fixed and repaired or replaced. So I don't really want to do all the extra work. So I'm just going to change those hood risers out, which will allow the hood to close. And then once that's done, once we get a new hood, then we could just do the modification and see if we could lower it or whatever. But for right now, that's the game plan. So I have the hood closed. I had to get the extended risers, but I ended up just cutting out the whole center section anyway, because it was touching the valve cover. So at this point, it works. So I'm gonna take these out to see if I can put the shorter ones back in. And if everything clears, that's it for the hood. Situation is handled. One of the issues were it was dented here, so everything moved. So once I pried everything back, played around with it, everything clears. So I'm gonna put the small hood risers back in and see if those do in fact clear. But yeah, this hood is terrible. It needs to be replaced. But everything was literally already falling apart, so it wasn't that much of any work actually to just put it in. So now that everything closes, switch those risers out and then move on to the fan, then the brakes in the back. So I placed the smaller risers back on. I cut out the mesh. I left that side for whatever kind of support it will be, but I left something in. And then move on to taking off the fans, and hopefully that one should fit inside. And if it does, that will be very good for the cooling system, because these little eBay fans don't really do much. Still gotta move it over a little bit, but this is the damage I was talking about. But currently it closes. I like this one's a little better because it's not as high as the other one, but so one problem solved for now. So once my boy gets here, we'll move the hood over a little bit, but right now I think we're good to go. So now we're just gonna start tackling the radiator. Just gotta remove this, push it back, and start taking out the fittings that holds the radiator in place. I only put 2 because I had a feeling I would be changing eventually, so just knock that out. So the radiator is back mounted, still have space. The fan is in. Here's a harness. I just gotta wire it up. Yeah, I should turn it this way. Whatever. Just gotta wire it up. I'm gonna use the OEM trigger. So this is gonna trigger it to come on. So the harness is over there, but it shouldn't take me too long to get that in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go focus on the rear brakes, and then just come back and knock this out. But right now, just knock the brakes out. So we did the fan, we did hood risers, we got the hood to close. So now I'm just gonna do the rear brakes, and then hopefully that goes smoothly because they're drums, and I hate drums. So as usual, there's always an issue. These brake shoes are too big to fit into this rotor, so I'll be reusing the old ones. They seem to be decent, but the main issue was the slave cylinder. So I hope it's the right one. So we're just gonna take it apart and keep going. So with this, there's not much room to work, so I couldn't really record much. This was the bolt that came off. It was completely stripped, so I had to use a chisel to just get it started, and then use pliers to turn it. So when you're doing these, you gotta be careful. There is a right and there is a left one. I didn't know that. I thought it was all the same, but luckily I looked. I guess it changes the angle of how this goes, this bleeder is. So this is the left side, so this is one I'm gonna use. So everything is in, it's running. I just temporarily hooked up the fan to make sure it would work. So that's in, everything is good. So yeah, she does drive. Yeah, still have to wire up that, but this project's come to an end. So yeah, happy with how it turned out. Don't sound too bad. So Civic is done, gone, goodbye. We should be hearing back when the dyno session is in place, so hopefully it comes out. That'd be great. Hopefully everything should be good. The motor was, taken care of, so yeah, I'm interested to see how this one comes out. One down, one to go.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face. Tell me that you love me,